The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Korner podcast. We are doing a special live edition for Wild Card Weekend. 3 out of the 4 games. No, Jesus Christ, I can't count. Seven out of the 8 games are either finished or all but concluded. Coming into tonight's obviously Monday night game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. I am your host, Jared Clem. My hosts are both running late because apparently I'm the only one who had to read or watched. Chris, well, to be fair, Chris's laptop is about as slow as me running after about a 12-pack of beer. And I don't know, Matt's internet's awful. So, as the one who came in rapid fire, I will lead us off. And joining me now, of course, is the fellow Eagles fan, the man, the myth, the legend, also rocking a Jalen Hurts jersey, ladies and gentlemen. 10 toes down, or 10 toes up, 10 beers down. Blackout Chrissy. Go Birds.
What's going on? Put it up.
Let for number
That's
one.
QB1.
Baby. We're here for captain. Here for the captain.
QB1.
Joining us now, coming back off his annual Jets golf trip that usually happens around January 10th. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Jake Smigglesworth, a.k.a. Swaggy, a.k.a. Matt Ordazzo.
Yeah, it's an annual tradition. It's been like this for 15 years now. So we take it very seriously. And like I would said in the chat, it's just typical Jets for this team to. I like Robert Saleh as a person. I think he's a very great guy. I think he's a tremendous, knowledgeable football coach. I think the players love and respect him. I just don't think he's head coach material. And I'm looking at teams like Pittsburgh and Cleveland, who were in the playoffs, all used 3 to 5 different quarterbacks, made it work. We couldn't. So I'm just looking at all these coaching vacancies popping up and who's available. And I'm like, typical Jets. And I can't even fucking talk to Mike Vrabel. Can't even shake the fucking hand of possibly Mike McCarthy or Bill Belichick or Jim Harbaugh because I got Mr. Saleh coming back. So that's what I've been going through watching. This is like the most deepest coaching candidacy probably in a long time, and I can't even have my pick at anybody.
Well, for those of you who aren't paying attention on the scoreboard, the Bills are currently up 21-10, but apparently the Steelers are trying to make this a game because when I went into the shower, it was 21-0, and then, cleaned my hair up, did everything else, got back downstairs, turned on the TV. On the side screen, I'm like, that says 21-10. Okay. Bills ain't going to make this easy.
No, it's actually been a pretty good game. The Bills I was watching took a 21-0 early lead, like you said. The Steelers scored with like a minute and a half left before the half, and now they got the field going in. There is a player down, I believe, on the Bills. Can't tell who it is. But yeah, no, listen, like I said in the chat, the trifecta of choking. Dallas and Miami never make it out of the first round, and the Bills usually find a way. Usually they squeak by week 1 in the playoffs, but they find a way to choke. The trifecta will happen eventually.
I'm Chris, you've been pretty quiet so far, buddy. Reaction to Bills Steelers so far?
To be honest with you, I really, even though the Bills have their, history, of recency of choking, I just don't give the Steelers a chance. It kind of sucks that Mike Tomlin might be on the hot seat because he has a quarterback like Mason Rudolph, and I'm not calling Mason Rudolph like a complete scrub, but
I don't
know.
You'd be okay if you did because you wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah, but at the same time, it just if he's the reason that he might be canned or just overall team performance by the end of the year.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. But at the same time, I know we all took the Bills in the 6-pack or whatever. It was kind of like a no-brainer. They're home, and Matt's right. They do kind of squeak by. Kind of the first round because they did last year against the Dolphins. They barely beat a second. Skylar Thompson, yeah, but I really don't have much about this game. This was the one game I didn't really care for. I'm more focused on tonight. I really haven't got it out of my head all day.
Yeah.
I'm fucking nervous as shit. I'm not feeling good either, so I sound a little weird, but
hey, listen, you sound like a real Philadelphia boy today. You better start talking about John's and getting some cheesesteaks from Pat and Gino's.
Oh God.
I know. I'm joking. Anybody who
I
actually
know.
been to Philadelphia knows how they're both shit boxes.
Oh
Everyone
God.
who knows my story about how I drunkenly stumbled into Pat's at 2:00 in the morning in Philadelphia, probably my favorite story of all time.
I think I drunkenly stumbled into Geno's, and I probably saw you. Be like, what are you doing at Pat's? And you're like, what the fuck are you doing at Geno's? And then I was like, touche.
There, I'll be.
I haven't been in either of them. I haven't been to either of them in almost a decade. So like,
Me either. I live here.
which also says how much how long I've been fucking drinking. That being said, right now, the Steelers made us. I will give the Steelers credit. They are, from what I've noticed so far, they've been fighting hard. They are not.
They're a
taking
frisky,
it on-
fun team.
They're not. I wouldn't call them fun. I call them a scrappy team.
Yeah, I can see that.
We got a real gym rat mentality. They're really kind of a spark plug, class act, all the other acronyms from the league that we talk about. But that being said, I'm still in shock of Josh Allen's run earlier, by the way. Can we just talk about the fact he just ran through two guys and then put on the hyper jets? He's like, oh shit, Haley's cooking. I gotta get home.
I watched him go for I think a fourth conversion. It was like a 4th and 1, or maybe it was just some down in 1 or 2 yards, and he ran it himself. And I just saw this man's body go 360 like airplane spinner mode right in midair, and then he just landed 3 yards and ahead of the first down. And I was like, oh Jesus, the Steelers. Well, 4th and 7, I'm probably going to get a field goal right here. But the Steelers they're just that scrappy team, like you said, where the defense is going to keep you in the game. It's just a matter of is this offense going to get something going. And they can be a sneaky dangerous team. It's just one of those teams where if the defense keeps you in it, there's going to be lightning in a bottle that's going to strike, and you just don't know when it's going to happen. But I'm expecting a big touchdown coming up to make it a 24-17 game. I'm hoping Najee gets one since
we got Joey Porter Jr. going to the locker room right now.
I was gonna say, as much as we have the Bills in the 6-pack, I would love for them just to lose.
Oh, same.
I mean, I think the Bills would be more fun because if they don't win, then we have to deal with Steelers versus Kansas City. No, I mean obviously Steelers will play Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't really think of
that.
Then
we get Kansas City versus Houston, and nobody wants that. Everyone wants to see Mahomes go on the road. No, I don't want to see Houston. I want to see Houston take on Buffalo, because that would be an absolute slugfest.
Well, if Buffalo wins, I think KC plays them in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, yes, because all the division winners won.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay for CJ versus Lamar. That would be
that actually be pretty
amazing matchup.
Yeah, the one negative thing I guess about the Steelers would win is that you've already got the Packers advancing, and now you have the Steelers advancing. There's just two teams are just going to get whopped next week. I don't think anybody out there truly believes the Packers are going to dominate the Niners kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know we didn't think that they were going to dominate the Cowboys, but I thought they were going to cover the spread at least. But
I got to throw a shout out about the Cowboys game. So my direct supervisor, my director of sales, JP, has said all year. I talked to him. I talk to him about football every Monday, for 30 seconds at the beginning of the huddle. We do a little small talk and everything else. And he's a Cowboys fan. And I always ask him, you didn't watch the game? He goes, not really. I'm like, why? And he goes, what's the point? It ends the same way every damn year. And he goes, as long as number 4 is our quarterback, it won't matter. He's been saying that since Dak was putting up MVP numbers. And I texted him on my way out of the office today. I said, hey, listen, I will be giving you a shout out today because you called it. Everyone and their mother is jumping on the Dak sucks bandwagon. I always thought Dak was mid to good. I thought he was I've said 1,000 times. He's Kirk Cousins. He's Black Kirk Cousins. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. I believe Amari Cooper was coined in saying that, and he was right. Except Curdy Boy, out with an Achilles injury, which I pray Kirk Cousins comes back and plays with Belichick or something like that. It'd be crazy as a turnaround. I want to see Kirk get to the second round as a NFL quarterback just once. Just once to get to the second round.
He's going to be a Falcon.
Yo.
Him and Bill to the Falcons. Even though apparently Bill to the Cowboys is a thing, Bill to the Eagles, which is hilariously bad. Also, Chris, can we put Eagles
Eagles media and Eagles fans in timeout until after the Super Bowl?
I'm on a timeout every week, so I mean I can do that.
Well, I want to put like those dummies at the Inquirer. Jeff McClain, I wanted to slap after I read his thing went viral. Jalen Hurts' stoicism is bothering fans, bothering teammates. Like, no, it's not.
This
What
is
do you want?
why
Screeching like a fucking banshee on the sideline? No.
this
He's
is
calm, cool, and collected at all times, man. It ain't Belichick's. It ain't Hurts' reasoning why they're not struggling on. Well, they're struggling on offense. I also think this team needed a reset and a gut check. What better way of doing this? And also, the AJ Brown social media thing. Can we stop? Nobody cares.
they're just trying to
Receivers in the
pan
NFL
it to be a bigger thing than what it is. And this is
Oh my-
exactly why I rarely use Twitter, is because I just get suckered in. Not gonna get suckered in. It's just like you're scrolling down on the page, then you see like some shitty report saying, "Well, AJ Brown's turned on the locker room because he doesn't talk to the media," or "AJ Brown's at the casino before a big game, like he's the worst." Like it's just all of these.
No, they're writing these articles because it's the same thing you used to write about like Barry Bonds and all these other players who don't like the media. AJ Brown went from loving the media to hating the media because they needed a scapegoat this year, and AJ was their guy they were going after. The Philadelphia media this is why they drive me nuts. They always need a villain. They need an Eagles player who they have to target, and this year was AJ, unfortunately. Last year it was I'd say Miles Sanders or CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Do you know that, like, on the radio shows, the popular, I'm sure you know, the 97.5 The Fanatic, they actually do a game, I think, every Monday called, like, Who to Blame. For, like, the Eagles lose, like, just like, who to blame, and they give, like, 4 guys, and they have, like, a Twitter poll over it.
It's the dumb Philadelphia media.
I know. I think it's so fucking stupid, dude, because, like, again, like, a lot of times I don't single out a player. I blame the team. The team lost, not just the player. But it's just like I mean, it goes for anywhere with the media, but especially Philly, it's pretty bad. It's because like one time one thing goes wrong, it's the end of the world. Yeah, and it's just like I just can't stand it. That's why I don't even listen to the sports shows anymore. I just can't do it.
Oh, I don't either.
I don't even listen to them if we win.
I have other fans of other teams asking me about Philadelphia media. I'm like, I fucking hate all of them. And who's your favorite? I mean, shout out to my boy Vic over at Liberty Line. I actually appreciate his content. Like, I don't mind his stuff, and E-Rock ain't bad either. But like, and everyone knows our boy Big Airport Johnny. But like, there's like very few Philadelphia personalities. Like, and obviously, you got to throw love to Merrill and Fran. But that's about it. There's nobody else I actually like. Most of them annoy the fuck out of me. Like, there's ESP, I've wanted to like throw off a ravine for the past like 6 years. He's the worst. He is literally an instigator, a wannabe Dan Orlovsky. It's hilarious. But back to Dallas, because we found a way to bitch about our Eagles, and our most hated rival lost yesterday in an abysmal fashion. Now, do I think them having Trayvon Diggs would have helped? Yeah. Probably would have been a touchdown game, but the problem was that game was shot from the start. And this is my front desk guy this morning asked me, and he goes, "So what happened?" I'm like, "Well, it's simple. When you get punched in the mouth repeated." Oh no, it was my boy Trev, who listens to the show occasionally, obviously, and knows some of you goons. He asked me, he goes, "What happened?" I'm like, "Simple. It's like you in football. It's a tidal wave effect, right? In baseball, you get to stop innings. There's always a repeat, like, there's a momentum stoppage, right? But in sports like football and basketball, you don't get really a stop. It can sandbag you and like cascade and like bury you fast, right? The quicksand effect, like everything goes wrong. Like, oh, quarterback throws a pick. Oh, whatever. We go on defense. Oh, shit. Somebody missed a tackle. Wide open touchdown run. Next play. We kicked it out of bounds. And much more. Oh, by the way, AJ Brown will be on the sideline today, so suck it, Eagles media.
And Dom DeSandro.
Big Dom is back. 10-1 with him on the sidelines.
Big
If
Dom.
you ask Pat
saying.
McAfee, it's Dom DeCastro, but we all know him as Dom DeSandro.
Listen, we
That's
all love
big
we love
fucking
Patrick
Dom.
McAfee,
You know what's crazy about that is like,
patron saint of podcasts.
oh god.
I love McAfee. You watch your mouth.
I don't hate McAfee at all. I actually enjoy McAfee.
By the way, he's the only reason we're doing this show, because I almost folded this show during COVID, and he was the only reason I kept doing this. Because I saw him and his boys having a blast doing fucking podcasts. I was like, I can't quit now. Fuck this shit.
Just to let the people know too, I was gonna have Joe Flacco on the show tonight, but he was too afraid to show his face.
Is he really that mad at me still?
Oh, Joey Flax?
Yeah, how I said he was never elite.
It might be. That's a hard thing to hear as a quarterback, that you're not elite.
Oh no, I've told it to every quarter. Listen, it's okay. Just ask the 28-year-old tight end in the Miami Hurricanes when I was at the game and I fucking screamed across the field, "Get this bum off the effing field!" And the guy looked at me. I kept forgetting I was in the second row. Oh man.
Well, Chris, I'm sure you told Joe, hey, listen, if you don't, show up to this episode today, then you owe Chris the intern $10,000. And
Yeah, dude. It's totally
Those you
legit.
don't know, Chris has had like this like Nigerian Prince Ponzi scheme going for the past like 6 months, where he basically will text you if you don't Venmo the former intern 10,000 G's. He's gonna you're gonna have like 10 years bad luck. And
Yeah, I go by.
Somebody Venmos me that shit. I'm like, bitch, I've been living it for 7. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was watching Belly Up After Dark the other day, and after I dropped that comment, I just saw you cracking up, and I'm like, I already broke Jared.
Well, the thing was, I was also running on like 4 hours of sleep in my like 4th hour of broadcasting. Like, God bless Josh and Jeremy and Hector, because I was falling asleep in the end of that show. And it wasn't the fact that like I ran out of gas. I did not sleep the night before, and I not only changed the oil in my truck with my old man, I also did a bunch of maintenance on the underside of our office. We were going to get snow tonight. On top of that, I also had a meeting with you two goons. We did the show. Oh, and on top of all that, I worked a full 9.5-hour day.
It's same. I do that every day. I hate it.
Yeah, no, I think I had like also my supervisor was out of town. He was at a conference. Doing things without being able to call or email your supervisor about a question and having to think on your own gets a little sketchy. I have a lack of confidence in myself and my sales job sometimes to begin with, but when I have no security blanket, I just have my regional guy up in New Hampshire to ask questions, and my CEO now works at the other location more, so I can't ask him questions. I'm like, but see, like at least in podcasting and broadcasting, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been doing this for fucking 10 years. Okay, I hosted my first radio show for the Clem's Korner, like, oh God, Matt, what is it? September. It was like September 2nd, 2013.
Yeah, we're
all right.
Southern.
Yeah, Matt and our boy Pat used to listen to my show all the time. We were in college. Occasionally, sometimes I got a little irritating. But that being said, touchdown. Oh no, George Pickens dropped it. That being said. That's easy enough, right? But like I came home, I was exhausted on that show. But I digress. Cowboys, the biggest prize. We have like a full ADHD show so far for the first 18 minutes, and we're trying to be out of here by like 7:50 because I know Chrissy needs about 25 minutes to slam about 4 or 5 beers to get his nerves down.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. I need to be able to count how many fingers I've completed with beers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a double right now, and then I have like a non-alcoholic fruit juice, sparkling fruit juice, because I'm trying to mix it in. See, I don't care if I get a buzz going, but like I still have to work tomorrow, and I haven't showed up to work hungover in 4 months, 5 months. I think it was August last time I came into work hungover. And my boss one time, he looked at me in the morning. See, the thing is, we have a morning meeting with our CEO every morning, and he watches the show, right? And so he sees me drink the beers and stuff like that. And I come in one morning, he goes, "So you had some fun last night?" I'm like, "I did." The worst of all, I think it was one of the episodes Kev came back on. So I got clocked that night. Then I go out to the bar to celebrate my friends getting their first apartment. My cousin's in town. So we're just drinking like idiots at the brewery down the road. I got home maybe like 1 a.m., passed out, woke up at 5:45, seeing double still, threw some water in my face, somehow got to work in my little go-kart of a Honda. And then I go to my boss looks at me. It's like a Saturday morning. He goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, but I'll survive. We're here till noon."
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened to me the one time. I
can't
remember I was gonna say I got I got pretty banged up one time. I don't know the amount I drank, but somebody gave me a Zin. It's the first time I ever had a Zin.
Oh my god! I sent Matt a TikTok because everyone knows I used to chew, right? I used to do Copenhagen, and occasionally Camel Snus when I was trying to wean myself off of it. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson. This game is gonna get tight. So that being said, I used to chew a lot, right? And I said to Matt, this thing was like the friend who, like, used to do Zins and stuff like that, trying to do Copenhagen. They're fucking spitting their guts out and shit. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, so I one time, like in the middle, one time I was walking around a bar in Boston with my friends, right? And with my cousin-in-law and my cousin, we were about to go see a concert. And we were bar hopping, seeing some belly up personalities. And we knew that some friends of ours that were in bartending around the corner. So I'm walking around, and my cousin-in-law, who only dips when my cousin ain't around, his wife, goes, "Yo, Jay, you want some Grizzly?" I'm like, "Really? You gonna give me this peasant shit?" And he goes, "Get your dumb." I'm like, "All right, come here." Gives me fucking some wintergreen. I pack about a lip like that thick in my mouth. Like I'm like, it clearly shows I'm chewing. And my cousin's like, "How are you doing that shit?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's I picked up the habit in college." I didn't do it much in college. It was more after when I started working blue collar work. That's when I picked up the habit. But it was watching a dude. My favorite thing was Pat's stag party. Me and Matt's friend. One of his boys had like the Copenhagen apple pouches. Weirdest thing I ever had in my life, right? But it was all right. And there was one kid who put one in his mouth. I swear I saw him swallow some of the juice. And I'm like, "You fucking idiot." I saw this kid turn 3 different shades of green. He didn't puke. I will give him credit. But my man, he went missing in the bathroom for about a half hour. I think his stomach just decided to do a wash, rinse, and repeat. But dude, I do it dip. This is why I don't regret it. And this is why, obviously, by the way, this show's presented by the amazing people at candidips.com. Promo code Belly 20% off. An amazing alternative to dipping that won't make your stomach upset and is a good way. CBD is also great for your joints. That's why I chew it every day. Asking my coworkers, like I will sometimes walk in with 4 pouches in my mouth, just chewing on an absolute like hammer while I'm returning emails. When I start making phone calls, I spit about 2 of them out so I can actually talk normally. But
I was gonna say, look how good we are just leaning into promos, dude. We went.
Oh my god, that was
over to Zins, and then we're talking about Canada.
Josh would be so proud of us right now for how we just leaned into that shit. Oh, by the way, let's give a shout out to our boy Josh Mahler being promoted to head of media at Belly of Sports. He's my new boss.
Am I assistant to the regional media yet?
Yeah, I'm assistant to the regional media manager.
Fuck. Am I intern to the regional media?
Yeah, sure, buddy. Whatever works for you.
Chris,
and Matt's sidekick to the assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah, Chris, pretty much we're in the annex.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we work above the guys.
You could be plot.
Tagged my elbow on the edge of like the nerve on the edge of my desk, and like my hand just went numb. It felt fucking weird.
Oh, dude, try to jerk off doing that. Dude,
what the fuck?
Dude, that shit's a trip.
Oh my god.
My god.
What the fuck, man?
Stroking the funny bone.
Stroking the funny bone.
You know what? You're in timeout for 30 seconds. Okay. All right. We're circling back. Maddie, I know you have family members who are Cowboys fans. I have friends that are Cowboys fans. I have bosses that are Cowboys fans. How are you feeling right now? But by the way, shout out to our boy Hector because he said it right. The only person who's down worse than the Browns' top-ranked defense got shredded by CJ.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't, dude. I got fuckoed, dude. I didn't get flaccoed.
Wait, you took Texans, right?
No, I took the Browns.
Wait, I lone wolfed the fucking.
Yeah, you lone wolf, dude.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, boys!
Yeah, it was
Upset
stubborn.
City, baby. I'm catching up to you, Maddie. I'm coming.
Dude, I don't even know
You
where I'm
smell
at
me?
this point, dude. I thought I was tanking for Caleb Williams, dude. I honestly, like, if I don't get a pick right in these next 5 games, you should just relegate me.
I think we all
We'll put Hector in the chat. Listen, Hector's won enough prizes from us in the last 2 years. I think
Yeah.
between him, DJ, and like Kelsey and Kevin, like I love how our corner booth, our group chat from Podcast and Chill is basically just old corner booth hosts and our regular guests that rotate in. It's that's why it's so funny. Oh, and the guy who does our rap intro.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I don't have any numbers saved besides you and Maddie, so I'm just guessing each week.
Okay, well, if you guys want, I can literally text you everyone's number so you know who everyone is. Well, I think Matt has everyone knows everyone's number.
Yeah, I just for some reason I just forgot to save Chris's, but I know whenever I see his number pop up, it's him. I just know it's him whenever it pops up. Like no matter what the chat is, I just know it's him. But I just never think to save it.
That's the dumbest shit, dude. Yeah, it's me.
But like it pops up and it'll be like
I fucking love that.
it'll be something like so out of pocket. I'm like, oh, that's Chris. And the same number.
Listen. No, well, because you also have fucking Kevin, who's just out of pocket 24/7.
I think I told Jared on that belly up after dark. I said I had a Miller Lite and mint chocolate chip ice cream. Should I call 911? Don't feel so hot.
Oh, I saw that and I was like, oh
yeah, I saw it too. I'm like, that just seems like a normal night while I was in college.
Dude, it's a bit. You know, I've been doing that, dude. I've been mixing like beers with ice cream and seeing what happens. Not to
Bro,
my
listen,
body.
that's how I got up to like 285 when I was a sophomore. Maddie,
yeah, I'm getting there.
I used to go into the dining hall, like take like 18 cups of ice, like the little fucking to-go cups of ice cream, and like fill those shits up, put in my backpack. Then I'd go to the liquor store with my buddy who was over 21, grab a 30 rack, and my freezer would be like quick microwavable dinners, ice cream, and then the fridge would be beer and leftovers I stole from the dining hall. Oh, and the occasional 6-pack of vitamin water that seemed to fall in my backpack occasionally.
There you go.
No receipt.
Yeah, listen, you go through that phase quickly, and then you realize when you almost get caught, you're like, I'm going to stop doing this forever.
I don't think that's a phase. I think you're a criminal. I'm glad we got this on tape. We got this on tape. You're fucked.
I never said anything. I never did anything. I said it seemed to fall in my backpack.
I stole a Kit Kat one time from a convenience store. I feel
that's
terrible.
admitting to something, you fucking dumbass.
I feel like we should all come clean now. Matt, you got any stealing stories?
Well, I used to work at a Goodwill, and we used to put all the stuff we were going to throw away on a tractor trailer that didn't have any cameras in it. So, definitely didn't take anything.
Oh, damn. I was kidding. I thought he was going to say, hey, I stole like this like.
I found somebody's employment check and cashed it. It was in the bottom of the couch.
Oh, so I did like I don't know. Sometime last year we were at the casino for one of her siblings' birthdays, or whatever it was. And I did find an envelope on the ground that was labeled, I don't know if it was Cindy to Kathy, it was something like that. And it was like $1,200 in it. I was like,
fuck.
I looked at it, I was like, whoa. And I looked at my wife and I handed it to her. I was like, look. And she like looks at it, takes it to the nearest like lady working the bowling.
Oh, bro, listen, that's grand larceny. So
that's a good Samaritan move, though.
This is why I love B. B's looking out. Like,
yeah,
dude,
well,
look,
she eventually got a bonus at her job, it was just like one of those things where the job didn't want to give her a raise, so they gave her like a $4,000 bonus. Like, hey, there's your increase for the year. So it worked out for her, but I didn't get anything.
Damn, dude,
you got some good karma, my friend.
Yeah, it's all because I was the one that was going to keep it, so I didn't get anything.
I would have took that.
All right, speaking of not getting anything, final thoughts. We have to talk about this fucking Cowboys game.
Oh shit. Okay, I got one.
Can we talk about the fact that so Jordan Love?
There you go.
Looks legit.
Dude,
Yeah.
The last interception he thrown was December 11th against the Giants.
Oh shit.
That's a stat.
That's fucking look at Chrissy with the stats.
Dude, I know. I was just I just
My
typed
man's been sitting on that one for 5 hours. He's ready to
Dude, I
roll
was
his
like
mic.
waiting for her to talk about this game for a while, dude. I'm like, we start talking about Zins and Steele and stuff. I'm like, oh, we got to get to Jordan Love eventually.
We're just going
Just
full
jerking off
degenerate.
with friggin'
Listen, this is
squeaky
why
hands.
I love this podcast, because this is what happens during the off season. Is like we go on fucking tangent stories. One of our best tangents was when during the off season when Kevin and Samir argued for 2 hours about which is better, Leonard Skinner or Allman Brothers. That argument went through about between the 5 of us on that show, consumed probably about a half a bottle of whiskey between the 5 of us, about maybe a 12-pack of beer, and it consumed about an hour and a half. So this is why I love like the off season, but like, so we gotta keep it in the lines here. But yeah, Jordan Love has been phenomenal. It looked effortless. Him and CJ Stroud both, by the way, shot Hector, but it looked, and I was saying this to my boy Maserati yesterday. He was hanging out at the house when we were drinking some beers, eating some wings, watching the game. I said, watch. They're going to keep sucking these freaking defensive backs way out of the zone, 30 yards back. They're going to have him dropping back. They're going to keep biting on everything deep, and he's going to keep hitting the intermediate 15 to 25-yard throws. And that's how he was butchering them. They weren't hitting any home run balls except for that bootleg, which was fucking hilarious. Because, like, I think Luke Musgrave could have sat down, caught that ball, got up, and ran. You also have Aaron Jones running like he's possessed. Like the dude, I haven't seen him run that hard since he almost knocked me out of the fantasy championship in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's gotten over 100 yards for the past 5 games. I mean, he's been on fire. I mean, he hasn't really done much throughout like the regular season, but like these past 5 games, I mean, dude, he's running like a madman, dude. He's running like somebody owes him money. Like
remember, Chris, it's what you've done for me lately.
That's right. That's right. And you know what he did for me lately? He beat the fucking Cowboys by himself.
Yeah, it wasn't the game I was expecting to watch, and it's funny because I'm sitting there on the couch with my wife watching the game, and I'm actually like yelling at the TV, like I'm angry, like as if I'm a fan, and I'm like, I don't know how to put this. I was like Miami shit the bed, and I was, how do you say, head over heels. I was joyed because I can't stand Miami. They're in my division, we all know. So, but the Cowboys, they're not a divisional rival to me. They're not a rival at all. They're not in the same conference as me. So to me, the Cowboys are harmless because they don't do anything to my team, and it's just whatever. So, but I'm watching. I'm like, how could one team who has not won a playoff game since 1995 be such consistent first round exits? Like you have a top 3, top 5 defense. You got an offense that can put up anywhere from 30 to 50 points a game if they really want to. If they're all on the same, if they're all on the same, click in their mindset and they're all grooving and everything. It's just insane. This team could go out and win 12 games, 13 games, and it doesn't matter who they play in the playoffs. They were given the easiest team in the playoffs for their conference, and they still lost by 2 scores. And it's just insane how they continue to just choke it away in the. And I honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's Dak. I don't think it's anybody on the team.
I saw that.
Wow. That's
Dude,
Shakir. Not Scherfield or
he broke a tackle and then he just danced around the guy.
You got to think even if Steelers score, unless it's some sort of miraculous within a minute, 2 minute score, I think this is going.
What was that Miles Jack penalty that killed him?
Throwing beer?
No, they're chucking.
Didn't Miles Jack retire?
Yeah,
dude,
he got cut by the Eagles. Then he was either him or Zach Cunningham was going to make the team as the backup middle linebacker. Cunningham got the starting spot along with Kobe Dean. Jack gets cut, and after his retirement, wants to be an electrician. Then the Steelers call him after one of their 5,000 linebackers gets injured again. So Miles Jack, who's me and yours age, Matt, says, "Oh, I'll come back and play," and he plays for the Steelers again.
Weird story there.
Yeah.
Well, back to the Cowboys quick, so we're never going to finish this game. But
right,
it's just if you think about it, you break it down. They haven't won a game. They haven't won the playoff game since I think they said 1995 or 1996. So you're going back to I don't know how many different coaches, different quarterbacks. Like I don't think it's Dak, and I don't necessarily think it's Mike McCarthy at the day. Like I don't really think it was probably Tony Romo or Jason Garrett at the end of the day. I think the common denominator is Jerry Jones. I think that man just needs to have less control of whatever he's doing with players and the operations. He also has a very unhealthy attachment to his players. we all heard what he said about Des Bryant in the shower, and I think I'm not like it's bad he's hands on, but like I don't know, like I think that like that emotion gets in the way of a lot of his. Like that one year they went on a spree. They extended like Jalen Smith, they extended like Van Der Esch, whatever it was. They extended like Cooper and Zeke and everybody. And I'm like, all right, like you don't need to extend Jalen Smith. You don't need to extend this guy. You don't need to give Zeke Elliott like 6 years or whatever it was. It's I think it's just mostly Jerry Jones as to why this team has just not been succeeding in January.
And it's unfortunate because it's not really unfortunate, let's be honest, but it's interesting because they have so much talent, right? And they kind of just find new ways to do things. And Dan Orlovsky said it best today. He goes, tear everything down. Just start over. This is embarrassing. This game is not as close as it looked. The Packers stopped giving a shit halfway through the third quarter, and that's when all those garbage time touchdowns to Ferguson happened, a.k.a. Thad Castle's a tight end.
It could have went to anybody else, dude. I had everybody on the Cowboys scoring besides Freddie Ferg.
CeeDee Lamb is all I needed.
I needed the Lamb. I needed Cooks. At one point, I'm like, I hit
take a Brandon Cooks touchdown
because you take the ones that you don't think will pan out, and they end up panning out.
All right, Chrissy, with that logic correcting, I feel like you should take a Boston Scott touchdown tonight.
Dude, I might take like a Jack Stoll. Who knows?
Take a Zacchaeus.
Or Grant Kalmatica or whatever's
maybe a Mariota. Maybe like a Wildcat play.
An end around to Mariota.
The fullback. You got a fullback?
We don't have a fullback.
All right, never mind.
It's Hurts. Hurts is the fullback. That's why we did this.
Rashad Penny. There we go.
Oh.
Julio Jones playoff touchdown.
Like a random Eagle from the past, and then have him on the books. Like
Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah, Maclin.
J-Mac, who's been out of the league for a decade. All right. Chris, final thoughts on Dallas Green Bay.
Oh God.
It's actually pretty sad to me because I saw Jerry Jones crying when he was talking about the loss, and I fucking hate the Cowboys with everything in my heart, but that was just sad, dude. It was just like it was sad seeing that. Getting blown out is one thing, but getting blown out in front of your home fans is another thing. And number two, like that just when he has that face when they're losing, you know that face he does when they're losing where he's like his jaw's open and he's like looking around. He looks like a lost puppy. And it's like, God damn, man. It's just like, what happened to that team? Like we choked the division at them, number one. Number two, I'm like thinking like this team can compete with San Fran, and then they just get cooked by the Packers out of anybody. But I don't know. It's just the same. Your coworker said it best, Jared. It's the same formula every year. If you expect it, expect what you expect. I mean, sorry, Dallas.
Yeah,
you fucking blow.
There you go. All right, let's talk about the other three games because holy shit.
Wow, we're 38 minutes in. We only talked about one game.
We had such attention deficit disorder throughout this whole show. We made it through one game. We talked about the game tonight a little bit, and we made it through one game. We technically just talked about the team.
Let's circle back to the Chiefs and Dolphins game. We'll talk about 30 seconds.
What a game!
This game was so bad. Tua looked awful.
I loved it.
Awful.
You heard the noise. Remember that? Remember he said, I heard the noise that I'm not an elite quarterback?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Miami is going to be crutched because their GM's talking about extending Tua. Their GM is going to be crutched. That team's going to be, unfortunately, just down bad for the next 6 years, 8 years, whatever it is, because they're going to extend Tua. And he's not going to be able to survive. I mean, obviously, then again, this game they were kind of just. It was not going to be easy, regardless. Negative 20-degree weather, but
did you see the beers?
Yeah, it was crazy. But
they looked like they had rabies. They were just foaming.
Here's the kicker: Miami. We knew they struggle with physical teams. You had to play a physical team in the first round, in their place, sub-zero weather. Like Miami was going to lose, and this is why we all picked Kansas City.
We did. I was no way I was picking Miami. I
Yeah,
picked Kansas City.
I didn't
I
even
feel
know.
like
I think
I mean,
the only thing I lone wolfed on was Houston. But yeah, no, I think you're right.
I think like I know it doesn't matter. I think DJ might have taken Miami. I think he might have been like the only guy. I thought that was the greatest thing I ever seen before. All the Miami fans out there bundled up with signs that said, "I wish it was colder. Go Fins!" And you put up 7 points. Oh my god, made my heart warm. Like when you get rid of that fuzzies on the inside, you feel great. That's what that made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate Miami. Listen, whenever we play them at MetLife and they come win or lose, they are just not enjoyable people.
Yeah.
No, but the best part about the game was terrible overall. I mean, it was one-sided, but the best part about that game was when they showed Taylor Swift and everybody in the booth crowd swag surfing. But all you see is
fucking badass.
all you see is Mama Kelsey like just like this. She's like, this is all I'm doing.
I love the young people music.
Yeah. It was cute to see she was just like this and everybody's going crazy. She's like, nah, just chilling.
All right.
That was the best part of the game.
Chiefs move on. Dolphins look deflated as hell. That's all I got in this game. This game was not really much to talk about other than the fact it was fucking freezing.
When do you think Taylor Swift will get like Mama Kelsey's cookie recipe? Ooh, that's pretty big.
I gotta give it like I don't know, maybe next football season.
All right.
Next football season?
Let's move on to the other Saturday game. Houston versus Cleveland. We already touched on it a little bit. CJ Stroud is fucking him. Once again, shout out to my boy Hector. I called it. I said, listen, Texans 8+ wins. Feeling good right now, boys. As much as Kelsey's like delusional brain thinks I was shitting on CJ Stroud. No. I've been a CJ Stroud staunch defender since about day one. I knew this kid could sling it. He won me over when he threw for like 400 yards against Georgia in the semifinal last year.
Yeah, that game wasn't what I thought as well. I thought Brown's defense was going to bottle them up. I just you look at nothing against Houston. I look at that run game facing that Cleveland defense, and I just thought like they were going to bottle up Pierce, and it was just going to be. CJ Stroud's going to have to throw for his life to win that game, and you just assumed, mistakes are going to be made when the quarterback has to do the entire thing, but it wasn't that at all. I mean, that whole team was in sync. That team just, turnovers after turnovers, just piling the points up against Cleveland. I was really upset because I really wanted to see a Joe Flacco Baltimore Ravens playoff matchup, but I love CJ Stroud, and the Texans are fun to watch. It's good football. DeMeco Ryans looks great, so shout out to Hector and his team for advancing for now.
Yeah, my biggest thing was with this is it looked effortless for Houston. They looked like they could do whatever. It looked like Ohio State playing Purdue, bro. That's how it looked. Yeah. It just drop back pass, drop it in the bucket, and go. It was easy money. Like Nico Collins was running through that secondary like he had money on the game for himself. Even Noah Brown was getting after it, even though he got hurt. John Mechie. We saw Bobby Trees, man. Robert Woods was back for a hot minute. And my boy
Jordan take it to the house.
Brev Jordan, baby. Oh my God, that touchdown.
Man, nobody could tackle that guy.
As a Miami fan, dude, I would love seeing Brev Jordan go off like that. Was crazy. But
as a Joe Flacco stan and a day one guy, I actually wrote Joe Flacco. You ever seen the show? You guys seen the show Always Sunny, right?
Yeah.
Really? So I wrote him the show that Mac wrote to Chase Utley. So I just replaced the words a little bit. So I said, "Dear Joe, I feel like I can call you Joe because you and me are so alike. I'd like to meet you one day. It would be great to have a catch. I know I can't throw as fast as you, but I think you'd be impressed with my speed. I love your hair. You run fast. Did you have a good relationship with your father? Me neither. These are all things we can talk about and more. I know you haven't been getting my letters lately because if you did, I know you write back. I hope you write back this time and we become good friends. I am sure our relationship would be a real touchdown." And I put my hands in the sky after that.
We saw.
Yeah. So that's what I wrote the Joey F.
Oh my God!
Right after the game. But
yeah,
that's it. That's all I have for this game. I have nothing else. Stroud just dominated. Flacco turned into Fucko. and had 2 INTs. Like, it was just
Two pick sixes, not just INTs, pick sixes.
You know, I threw my phone across the room for the second one, but then I have a big crack on it now, and people are asking me what happened. I'd be like,
God. What game your team isn't even fucking playing, Chris?
I know.
Now you're gonna go to the store in a year or so and get an upgrade, and they're like, "Oh, as long as you don't have a crack in your phone, you can upgrade and you can get $800 towards your bill." And you're like, "Well, I do have this big crack on my screen because of Joe Flacco."
I cracked my phone so many times. I walked into AT&T the one time, and they're like, "Flacco." I'm like, "Mm-hmm." And then they just gave me a new one. I'm like,
you know what? And this is not anything to do with tonight's game, obviously, but I think Cleveland did not deserve to win a playoff game because of how they did Baker Mayfield dirty. Now, that being said, I don't think Baker's going to win tonight, but I think Cleveland getting embarrassed kind of was just a little bit of karma on Stefanski for blackballing Baker Mayfield. Anyway, the Texans are fun. They are an electric team. Them versus Baltimore is going to be fun as shit.
And
also, another wild card team
game. And breaking news with that game, what's his name? Mark Andrews has been activated off the injured reserve in his practice.
There's a shocker. 31.
Well,
by the way,
Andrews,
for those of you at home, keep the score 31-17. Bills with the ball inside Pittsburgh. Yeah, this game's over.
This game's over. Mafia's moving on.
Shout out to everybody that took the Bills spread. They covered comfortably.
Yes, sir. All right, and finally, last but not least, we got to talk about the game last night.
Oh, what a fucking game right there.
Detroit fucking Lions, man. I love it.
I've been living vicariously through Detroit because I just imagine that when the Jets finally get there and they win a playoff game, that's what it's going to be
next year,
like
buddy.
for me.
You are next year's Lions.
I just thought, what a fucking man.
The Jets, look who showed up.
Mr. McCarthy. It meant so much more, in my opinion, for Jared Goff to win this game than it was for Matt Stafford to win this game. So I'm very happy with the result. I love how Detroit just embraced Jared Goff that entire game, and even the players in the locker room post game. So I'm praying for the Detroit. I'm rooting for them to keep pushing it forward a little bit. Are they playing?
They're playing Philadelphia. They're playing either Philadelphia or they're playing
Tampa Bay.
No, they won't. They'd play whoever. Yeah, no, they play the winner of this game regardless on Sunday because the Packers won.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Either game will be an amazing game.
Yeah, I took the Rams. I actually thought Stafford was gonna go in and squeak this win, but they couldn't really capitalize in the red zone. I mean, they got I think it was like 3 straight field goals in the game. Huh?
You took the Lions.
I took the Rams.
I do remember him taking Rams.
Okay, then then I'll change that then. Shit.
Wait,
it's been edited. Never mind.
Dude, I almost had a point there. Wow, this was almost the greatest day of my life.
Almost.
Shit. Okay. Now my season's ruined. It was actually all depending on that debacle there, but geez, we'll get into it another time. But no, I thought the Rams are going to ram off. I thought the boys would be buzzing, but they just couldn't capitalize in the red zone. I think that was the problem in the second half with them. The Lions really didn't do much in the second half. They had 3 points.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was happy for Goffense. He balled out. He made plays when it mattered. I was getting a little nervous towards the end of the game because they kept, he had a couple 3-and-outs. So I thought the Rams were going to take advantage. But I'm happy for Detroit because they, again, haven't won or hosted. Well, they haven't hosted a playoff game in I think it was 30 years, they said?
30 years.
So I'm happy for Detroit. If the Eagles were to somehow lose tonight, if they lose tonight, I'll root for Detroit.
If for some hellscape reason, that happens, I will say it's Houston. It's Houston and Detroit for me, and then Baltimore.
You can actually stamp that. Any listener out there,
but that ain't gonna happen.
We will be decked out in Lions gear if the Eagles lose.
I'll wear blue a lot more.
I'll just paint my face like
but that ain't gonna happen. We're in green the rest of January and February.
Fuck yeah, dude! This is
fuck yeah.
Home Depot.
But yeah, no, I love all this for the Lions. By the way, can we just talk about how Goff was just slicing and dicing that secondary between Amon-Ra St. Brown and Reynolds, just chopping it up. Listen, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Nakua was great. It just came down to stops, and Detroit made the stop when it mattered. So I honestly couldn't complain about that football game at all. That was just fun from start to finish.
No, it was a great game from start to finish, like you said. I think two key things that kind of played into an effect as to how the Rams didn't win that game was that Cooper Kupp was kind of non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had maybe like 20-something yards receiving. So he was not too heavily involved. And then Kyren Williams, like when he has like 13 or 14 touches on that ball, like you're not going to win the game. That's your strongest suit right now is this guy's power, running the ball. Give him 20 plus, carries. You're only at the end of the day, you're only down by 1. It's not like you were getting blown out and you had to throw it. So like it's just one of those things where you weren't utilizing, in my opinion, your best players, which was Kupp and Kyren Williams. And when you're not using your best guys, you're not going to have the greatest results. And obviously Detroit took advantage of that.
There you go. All right, who's ready to talk about tonight's shit show? I know he's ready.
Me. Oh.
All right, so tonight, of course, with the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a rematch of Monday Night Football Week 3, I believe. Or was it Thursday night? Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. It was Monday night. Either way, Eagles coming in. Everyone knows the fucking headlines. Everyone knows the stories, the media, all this crap, the circus around this team. Tampa limping in, somehow winning the worst division in football. And it's only a 3-point spread for Philadelphia on the road. No AJ Brown. Baker's hobbled. Darius Slay's back. It's going to be interesting.
And Devonta Smith.
Yep. So it's going to be an interesting game.
I believe Hurts has a glove on his throwing hand.
Yeah, he's got like a bone bruise on his middle finger.
It's for style. It's not for any injury.
Well, it's going to be fucking pouring in Tampa.
My parents are actually going to the game because they're down in Orlando this weekend.
Very nice.
They got tickets. Your tickets were $200.
That's not bad at all.
Actually,
Holy shit.
Dude, tickets are cheap as shit for that game.
Yeah.
Where are they sitting?
Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming decent seats. I'm like, dude, I think it was like $250 for like 100 section.
Wow.
Right behind the goal line.
That's like regular season prices for like a pretty decent bowl seat.
We might have to go to Raymond James Stadium in the near future to catch a game if it's that cheap. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, also anything in like those states like Florida and Texas is just cheaper. That being said, the key to tonight's game for me is going to be Mr. Swift, Agent Zero. If the Eagles can get him rolling and ripping early and allow him just to kind of just gash that defense and make easy throws for Hurts, it's going to be a long day for Tampa. And for Tampa, the biggest concern is get after Hurts early and often and make him try to take away the run and make Hurts try to throw deep, and that's it. Or like throw deep under pressure. I mean,
I would love the offense to be a little more
less high school.
Yeah, and a little more like explosive. Like I'm just again, I know we've reiterated, and I sure have for the past 3 quarters of the season is no bubble screens, man. Run
enough with the bubble
cross routes. Run. You got guys who can play. Is Devonta Smith playing?
Yes,
he's playing.
Yeah. Use him, man. Use him a shit ton. I mean, look, you're not going to have AJ Brown. It's going to show. I think the Eagles can win this game, but I think the Eagles have to learn, and this whole fan base and even the shitty media has been pushing it the whole year is balancing the pass with the run. Run the ball down their throats, man. I mean, you did it week 4, whenever you played them, just run the ball. Like you have guys who can, you have Swift, you have Penny, you have Boston Scott, you have Hurts who's mobile. I'm sick of these. I don't want the friggin' read options going to the left, going to the right. I mean, it's so embarrassing that Christian McCaffrey predicted it on the Manning cast. Like, just Just don't be predictable. Once you're predictable, then everything's gonna fall apart. Brian Johnson's been very, very predictable coordinator.
It's why even if the Eagles fucking somehow miraculously win the Super Bowl, he will not be the head coach next year. I think
he started getting head coach offers, and it's hilarious.
Which is awesome. Just somebody take him. Carolina, please take him. All right. That being said, Maddie, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's a game that, we've said it before. I think Philly's going to walk away with this game at the end of the day. I think they're due for a win, and I think they're going to get the bounce back win this tonight to push forward. For the Bucks, I think the key player that they really got to bottle up, and I don't think it's Mike Evans. I think it's Rachaad White. He's just been the gadget guy where he can get you 7-8 receptions for the game and get you 1 or 2 touchdowns, receiving. Then he can also have 65, 70 something yards on the ground too with a couple scores. So he's been an on fire player towards in the regular season. So that's somebody I think you got to bottle up. But at the same time, I think if the Eagles can get that defensive line going and just create a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield and really rattle him, I think that the Tampa Bay defense or that Tampa Bay team in general is just going to be off their game. And it'll be a Philly game. Don't forget who's coaching them also. Todd Bowles is not a good coach. Don't let him taking over Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, fool you. He's not. This man is just not a good game time manager. So I'm not trusting him in a win or lose and win and out kind of game. So I'm taking Philly with this one easily. But I think as long as pressure can be created on Baker Mayfield, and he has to scramble continuously and just keep him on the edge of his toes, I think this is going to be a Philly game.
Also, the ankle and the ribs.
Then that's exactly why. He was lighting us up a lot. I mean, we caught a break the last time we played him because Mike Evans dropped a touchdown. He dropped a couple crucial footballs. But that's probably not going to happen again tonight. So you just, like Maddie said, you just need to get pressure on Baker and force him to scramble or get out of the pocket because I honestly, under pressure, I don't trust Baker. So you get your hands on him, dude. I mean, you're going to own this football game. So there's going to be a shit ton of Eagles fans there. So, I mean, if Darius Slay said they left Philly to escape the booze, dude, I mean, you're forgetting this is.
He said that to bust their Philadelphia fans' chops. You know how.
Well, you know how they get, but realistically, like Philadelphia, I'm not gonna be biased, or whatever, but they are the most loyal traveling fan base in football. I mean, they almost take over every single stadium they're in. So, I mean,
there's going to probably be a lot of Philly fans down in Florida because if you think about it, like, I forgot who I was talking to about it, but I don't really think Florida is a big, not like they're not a big.
Florida's a big college football state.
Florida is one big, massive retirement home for everybody from the Northeast, pretty much. So I think you're going to get a lot of Philadelphia fans down there because I think you're going to see a lot of 55 and up people that are going to be at that stadium with their Jalen Hurts jerseys because they retired down in fucking Boca Raton. So, yeah, I think you're going to get a heavy Philadelphia following down there. But it's just something, I'll go on record and say that I think this is a game that could have been more in Tampa Bay's favor, hosting a playoff game against Philly if maybe Bruce Arians was still coaching. I just don't have that faith in Todd Bowles.
By the way, Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles are both former Temple coaches. Shout out alma mater. I feel like I need to sneak that one in there.
There you go. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for today's show. Obviously, your boy here is picking the Birds. Go Birds. All business. Chrissy?
Go! I can't really scream that loud, but go fucking Birds, baby. You roll.
You went up, down, and straight.
Oh, God. I ran out of breath going up.
Chris, just before the game kicks off, just start playing the Rocky theme song on repeat. You'll be okay.
Okay. I might text. You know what? I'll text the podcast chat now. So
27-23 Philly.
All righty. You heard it here first, folks. Shout out to our sponsors, candidates, promo code BLABS 20 for 20% off. Chris, do not play the song on here. I don't feel like getting a strike from YouTube today. Shout out to Mauler Bros, promo code Belly 15 for 15% off. And, of course, SeatGeek, promo code Belly Sports for $20 off your initial purchase. I am your host, Jared Clem, alongside Matt and Mr. Chris. We will see you guys on Thursday for the Korner pregame as we get ready for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Hopefully me and Chris aren't still drinking ourselves stupid. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. Have a great week. We will talk to you Thursday, and go Birds.
Go Birds.